с вами канал Doggyplay, и мы продолжаем играть игру Call Juarez Gunster. Так, и мы в прошлой серии остановились на миссии Гроздь патронов. Горсть патронов. Так, нажмите, чтобы начать игру.
It's important to know that I was only riding with Billy so I could find the bastard I was after.
Так, тюрьма Линкольн, 28 апреля 1800
He was with John Kinney's gang. They were sworn enemies of Billy's regulators.
Why were you after him?
I owed that son of a bitch a bullet for what he had done to me and mine. Instead, all I got for myself was a goddamn death sentence. Luckily, it was right around then that I heard Billy make his move. He shot Jim Bell and a few other guards as he made his getaway. Later, they wrote that some lady friend planted a pistol for him in the privy. What the papers didn't say is that Billy helped me escape too.
Опа, ключики взять, конечно.
My first order of business was finding a firearm.
Так, шляпа, секрет найден. Здесь что-то.
Luckily, I located Deputy Bob Ollinger's mean-ass shotgun.
Бескалиберный. Громко, как динамит. Можно разрывать человека пополам. Дробовик Боба Оллинджера. Прикольно.
I saw Billy through the window, and he yelled that I should take to the rooftops to make my escape. So I did.
Anybody see Billy?
Hell yeah! That scatter gun was like a double-barreled
Мне
howitzer.
нравится это.
It could blow a man clear off his feet. You hardly had to aim the thing. The kids escaped raised a huge ruckus. Guards were everywhere looking for him. Can't let the kid get away!
Anybody see him?
Вот, тут это оружие. Нет, тоже нет.
I had to jump from roof to roof like a damn alley cat. I followed the planks where I could, but some of that wood was slippery as hell. The whole town was up in arms.
Ай, блин. Я не видел, куда бежать. Так, золотая лихорадка. Что там было написано?
So that bastard you were after, what did he do?
He did me and my family a grievous harm. But I knew if I was ever going to find him, I would need to get my ever-loving ass out of there. I tried to be stealthy and sneak my way past.
This town doesn't have a moment's peace.
You! But hell, if they weren't all waiting for me.
О, еще один секрет.
Apparently, some of them thought I was Billy.
You hooligans can go to hell.
Ох ты, ёпты. Ядрить колотить. Просто много. Так, новый уровень. Так, я прокачиваю линейку стрелок, отчаянный герой с двумя стволами. Перезарядка на бегу. Кстати, вот это хорошая идея. Качаем. Вот что еще. Почему не было так долго видео? У меня просто есть летом занятости. Это плавание и английский.
In town somewhere.
See, me and the kid shared a certain similarity in build and color. I was just glad I had Deputy Bob's mean-ass shotgun.
Чё вот главное?
They're shooting in the street!
Я не буду такое защитить. Так, зарядим. Чтобы было эпичнее сейчас.
I've got this. Get your headstone!
There's children here.
Stop it!
So much lead was whizzing by my head, it was like everyone in Lincoln wanted to put me in the
Ой, как
ground.
хорошо.
I
Мне
knew I
понравилось.
needed to find a horse.
Так,
Though I never did have a great fondness for them four-legged grass eaters.
так.
Smelly, sweaty, ungrateful beasts. You prize them too high, if you ask me.
О,
The lives of innocent people.
Так, отвратился. Так. Надо было использовать. Так, залазим. Что там у нас будет?
Damn town's going to hell in a handbasket.
But where was the kid while you were busy getting shot at?
Gone. And that's when it occurred to me why Billy set me free.
Вот фокс. Так. Вау. Бля, надо тут вместе. Вот и мозг пытились. Очень интересно. Ой. О, вот это получится.
So I could be a hapless decoy and draw attention while he snuck out of
Я
town.
винтовку выберу, потому что она как-то удобнее мне. Чем другой.
I knew if I made it out of there in one piece, no one would put a price on my head.
Что-то очень
Because everybody in Lincoln would be dead?
No, because they all thought I was
Хотя
Billy,
ладно. Такой
and all
дорогой.
that blame would fall on him. Meanwhile, Deputy Bob Ollinger was organizing a posse
А
to
вот и
put
зачем
me down.
дробовик сделан?
He was
Да.
already a mean son of a bitch, but he was doubly pissed that I stole his mean-ass shotgun.
А,
Anyway,
да, вы видели?
it was me or them, and the only way forward led me straight to
Так,
perdition.
разрядимся.
But the cards were dealt, and I had no choice but to play them.
Шелдах, вот что я тебе скажу.
On yourselves! Get away!
Ты хуйца, вот почему так нужно было ружье. Потому что пистолетов, револьверов не дострелил. Так, оружие. Опля. Так, ждем.
We're gonna be in deep shit with that.
Ни разу не попал.
Let him get away! Stop him!
нужно спрятаться. О,
Finally, I found what I was looking for. The stables on the edge of town.
I guess Billy saved your ass, taking out Bob Ollinger the way he did.
Billy didn't kill Bob.
Sure he did. He dispatched him right after he shot Deputy Bell.
No, sir. Because Bob came right up behind me, angry as hell that Billy had lit out. "Hello, Bob," I said. "I think you better let me go." And he says, "I don't think so, boy. Not with my shotgun." So we stood there in the middle of the street, eyeball to eyeball. He intended to kill me, and I knew I had no choice but to defend myself.
Так, в положении руки с помощью F и V, чтобы быстрее выхватить револьвер. Ага. Дайте ему вкуса. Шучу. Так, услышав биение сердца, вы можете выхватить оружие первым. Этот поступок будет отмечен как бесчестный и ценный соответственно. Ай, скотина! Блин, какие-то дуэли, блин, они сложные, вот реально. Так. Вот тут и будем держать. А если нельзя? О, тоже мощно, смотрю. Скорость, фокус. Так, так, так.
Some say I fought unfairly, but they weren't the ones looking him in the eye that day. Pat Garrett gunned down Billy 3 months later, so his escape was all for naught anyway.
Убийство в падении. Дуэль был Олажем, бесчестное убийство. А хотя еще должен его убить? Ладно. Продолжим, конечно. Что ж, я долго не снимал, что ж бы 3 миссии, что
So
ли?
where'd you go after Lincoln?
Mexico. Until I realized nobody was looking for me. I ended up taking a job at the Rurales.
The Mexican Rurales?
I was
Простите.
hired to help them track down the cowboys.
The most vicious outlaw gang in Cochise County? Curly Bill Brocious? Johnny Ringo?
Led by old man Clanton himself.
They must have paid you a pretty penny to take him on, Brazon.
Not really. But truth be told, I had my own reasons for going after those boys.
Мексика. Ладно, я остановлю запись, пока не закончится загрузка. Так, вот и загрузилась уже игра. Так, нажмите, чтобы продолжить игру. О,
So was the bastard you were after now riding with the cowboys?
Roscoe Bob Bryant was his name.
Oh.
But no, this time it was a different bastard I was after. The aforementioned Mr. Ringo. And yes, he was working for old man Clown. I came upon them robbing a stagecoach, which wasn't surprising, being they were such murderous thieves and bastards. The bandits wore red scarves, so I knew they worked for the old man.
Over there! There!
I did my best to help those poor bastards.
скотина, сука. В голову. Вот он.
Moments later, the attackers were dead, and I checked the stagecoach to see how many passengers were still breathing. None.
Полная здесь.
It was then I wondered if the rocks weren't hiding more bandits. Was that all of them? Or did I just hit the rear guard? I quickly got my answer. They attacked from on high like Apaches often do. They would appear in great numbers from above and rain down lead on their hapless enemies' heads, making use of the high ground and whatever else they had.
Что за оружие?
Yep, the Apaches always appeared out of nowhere, and there never seemed to be an end to them.
Hold on. Were you attacked by Apaches? What happened to the cowboys?
Did I say they were Apaches? I said Clanton's cowboys attacked me Apache style. I was in a pitched battle, but I was holding my own against an overwhelming enemy force. See, at the time, I was still pretty green and would often blunder into regrettable situations.
Не, вот здесь хорошо будет винтовка.
But I just kept shooting at anything I could see up in those damn rocks. I didn't see Ringo. I knew he was looking. He and Roscoe Bob had done me a dreadful wrong, and I was determined to have my revenge.
Пидорас. Шлюха!
But to get to Ringo, I knew I'd have to find my way past these other assholes first.
Да какая скотина!
Unfortunately, I was running out of ammo. Another perfect example of my relative inexperience as a hunter of men. I immediately knew that a tactical retreat was called for, as my vengeful fury was much less impressive without the bullets to back it up.
Заебись просто. Раз, два, три, четыре. Я сказал 4. Да заебись, блядь, сколько? Просто заебись.
Trapped as I was, the odds of my survival seemed pretty slim. Luckily, serendipity was on my side as I suddenly spotted a way out of my predicament.
Простите, так, что тут у нас? Долгий ком. Что нужно делать?
He's getting away!
Все, конечно, понимаю. А он мне пригодится. Во! Что, ёб твою мать? Ты хочешь соснуться с кем-то? Бля, не патронов, нихуя нет! Сука, и здесь один, блядь, патрон. Там нету вообще патронов? Стреляйте, стреляйте, стреляйте! Сука, патронов нету! Японский бог. Ладно. Будем сейчас.
I ran ahead as if the devil himself was after me. Bullets were whizzing by my ears, but I wasn't about to roll over and die.
Да секрет это
I
понятно.
just kept running like there was no tomorrow.
Не вопрос.
Because there wouldn't be if Clanton and his men caught up with me. As I was scurrying around those caves, I thought, what was I thinking? Going up against a gang like this?
Беги, блядь, беги, сука.
I just kept running, not knowing where the hell I was going.
Бля, тут нельзя прыгать, я не заметил эту воду.
Nowhere to run. I got you now. that's when something miraculous happened. Like manna from heaven. I found the desiccated remains of what looked like an Apache warrior. The old weapon next to him supplied me with some much-needed ammunition. Bat Masterson once told me it was more important to be lucky than good, and he would know. And imagine my surprise when I found a fistful of dynamite to go along with that ammo. That stroke of good fortune evened the odds and bolstered my confidence. It was time to turn the tables.
Вот сейчас хорошая идея.
Time for the prey to become the predator. Time for the hunted to become the hunter. Time.
All right, Jesus, we get it. They were right where you wanted them.
That's right, Jack. I was done running. And the old man's boys were not expecting that. No, sir. I came at them like a wildcat.
Сука, я
My
здесь,
fury knew no
я
bounds.
тут вас. И морда ебашься. За что я не хочу это выиграть? А вы заряд. Хотя вот сейчас стало выглядеть отлично.
It was finally time for that old man to pay for his sins.
Вы готовы, дети? Ух ты, ёпта! Чертовский под старик Хэнслон. О, что-то подобие
I
минигана.
yelled out at the top of my lungs, Clanton,
Стоять.
I'm coming for you! A little stealth might have made more sense, to be perfectly honest. Because that old fool had a Gatling gun and enough bullets to last him till kingdom come. But I knew I could not let that deter me. Not if I was to find and kill Ringo.
Пострелять.
I needed to get that old man off that gun.
What a piece of crap!
Сука, я не дострелил. Да беги, ёпта!
Most everyone thought it was the Ruales who had come up against him in Guadalupe Canyon. But it was just me.
Что-то делать, бля. Бля, я надеюсь, мы не с самого начала начнем. Шикарно. Бля, и вы заебашили с первого раза. Так, вот здесь и сиди, сука. Сука, беги! Так.
Apparently, one of the cowboys made it out of there alive and told Ike and Billy Clanton that it wasn't a Mexican who took their father's life that day. They just assumed it was one of the Earps, and that little misunderstanding eventually led to that legendary gunfight at the OK Corral.
Блин, жалко, что на любимое оружие винтовка. Почему? Так, что там было? Так, ну продолжим, конечно. Так, я приостановлю, когда загрузится, включу. Так, вот и все загрузилось. Пристрел по лесопилке.
A few weeks after that dust up at the OK Corral, I was still after Johnny Ringo. I had tracked him and the cowboys to their hideout at a sawmill, and they were loaded for bear.
So, what exactly did Johnny Ringo do to piss you off?
Well, him and that other bastard.
Roscoe Bob Bryant?
Yep. They both deserve to die, and I promise I'll tell you why. But first I need to tell you about the cowboys' new boss, Curly Bill Brocious.
Herb's coming!
Get ready, boys. Curly Bill took charge of the cowboys upon the old man's demise. And after that gunfight at the OK Corral, the Clantons wanted revenge.
Дайте его.
Get out here, you coward! Hit the dirt!
So they murdered Morgan Earp and grievously wounded his older brother, Virgil. Wyatt and Doc went on what became known as the Vendetta Ride, hunting those outlaws down. So when I showed up, that's who they thought I was. There were killers around every corner, all wearing red bandanas. That's how the cowboys identified each other. And I was beginning to wish I had one myself. But I wasn't about to let Ringo walk away unscathed. And that's what drove me forward.
You know you can't beat
They say that Ringo was infernally fast.
Hardly saw anyone faster, boy. Certainly not Wyatt Earp. That man was all hat and no cap.
Не-не-не. Облизываю дробовик, мне, к счастью, вижу. Мои... О, какая карочка! Вы что, не убили?
Earp wasn't much of a match for him, but Doc Holliday might have taken it.
Раскаленный ствол, меткий ствол, быстрая перезарядка револьвера. Превращает свой револьвер, и мгновенно ока вы сможете закладывать патроны, вращаясь в барабан револьвера. А, ну мне это нравится. А потом, что повышение скорости концентрации, а это...
That lunger should have kept his nose out of it. They never charged anyone for the murder of Morgan Earp.
But everybody knew that Curly shot him in the back. That was common knowledge.
Yeah, maybe so. But Ringo had nothing to do with it. He was just being loyal to a friend.
Is that what you call it? Being loyal? Well, to get to that loyal friend, I had to pass by some buzzsaws as big as a man.
Excuse me, sir. I have a question.
What's that, Dwight?
After old man Clanton died, why didn't his son take over the Cowboys?
Because Ike Clanton was dumber than a box of rocks and a yellow belly to boot. Now, where was I?
Taking down the entire cowboy gang single-handed.
Indeed I was, Jack. It wasn't easy, as those boys had good cover.
Так. Что у нас? Так, берем шестизарядники. Вау, как шикарно. Это хрена. Вот почему мама мне говорила, езди по берегу. Да, Бог! Ну давай, иди, сучка. Сколько вас тут? Так, поставил.
There were carts everywhere, piles of lumber, and God knows what else for people to hide behind. That really was one hell of a sawmill. Quite an impressive operation.
And where was Curly Bill? Did you see him?
I'm about to get to that, Ben. Patience. I'm painting a picture here. There was this beautiful waterfall and a crystal clear stream that led to a verdant valley that was truly...
Consider your picture painted. What happened next?
Well, finally the bastards that were still alive made a last stand.
Мне кажется, мы сюда и будем прыгать. О, смотрите. Прыжок вперед! Ну, смотрите, с этого конца.
Curly Bill, Johnny Ringo, and his compadres took off into the lumber yard, and I followed after.
Лопнет. Курчавый Билл. Курчавого Билла.
Are you saying they ran?
Ах ты, ёб твою мать,
Cowardice
ты
was
где?
not in Ringo nor Curly Bill's nature.
Сука!
No, sir. I never said they were running scared. They just wanted me out in the open.
Time to dance with the devil. Come on out, son. Is that son bitch Earth send you to kill me? Time to die. Damn.
О, как хорошо, зависит. Сейчас мы вот так его закинем. О, все, отвис. Чё, слабак?
I knew you didn't kill Ringo, because he was found dead in a different location altogether.
To this day, his killer is still unknown.
Indeed. Took me a few months before I finally tracked his ass to West Turkey Creek Canyon.
Следующий. Кто станет руля и схватит пулю? Джонни Ринго.
That's incredible, sir. I always thought that Doc Holliday was the one that killed him.
Sorry I had to ruin the legend for you, boy. But the legend ain't always true.
Вот так легко мы его убили.
Doc Holliday had nothing to do with the death of Johnny Ringo.
Зарядник дуэль Джонни Ринго. Честно убит в голову. Любимая награда в голову. Продолжим.
I was paid a healthy bounty for Ringo and Curly Bill, and realized there was real money to be made. That's why I went after Henry Plummer.
Генри какой-то. Золото?
Wasn't he the sheriff who augmented his income by shaking down miners and robbing gold shipments?
That's the one.
Oh, yeah, I remember him. He ran that gang of thieving outlaws called the Innocents.
So it's true that you went toe-to-toe with him?
Что, удрались?
Indeed I did, son. Indeed I did.
В рукопашном бою или ковбойском? Так, я приостанавливаю запись. Так, вот и загрузилась. Так, продолжаем.
I knew I needed resources if I was going to track down Roscoe Bob Bryant. And hunting Plummer looked like a good way to get rich quick. As the local vigilantes exposed him as the leader of the bandits and put a generous price on his head.
Блин, мне это не понравилось. Пробей.
Plummer rallied his gang to plunder one last gold mine before making their escape. And that's where I thought I'd find him.
Значит, нам нужен дробовик. Потому что шахта такая близко будет. Так.
As my late father pointed out to me more than once, God made men, but Samuel Colt made them equal.
Самое прикольное, что они меня это не видели, если...
Oh, yeah? Who the hell is that then? Don't let him get a shot off!
Самое прикольное, что сюда можно забраться. Да, можно спускаться. Получили мы урон, вот и весь пиздон.
I knew that dynamite wasn't mine, so I decided the polite thing would be to return it. It was the biggest gold rush since Sutter's Mill in '48. Unfortunately, prospectors weren't the only ones drawn to those riches. There were thieves and killers, robbing travelers and hijacking gold ships.
Закинем!
Like those that ran with Plummer. Some were just regular folks I knew from town, drawn by greed and easy pickings. Charlie Crow, the blacksmith. James, who worked in the stable.
Так, берем шестизарядники.
Sam and Jeremiah Barber, the butcher's sons. Ordinary citizens who lived a double life. Stealing and thieving and murdering their neighbors. If Daddy had lived to see Alfred Nobel's explosive invention, my guess is he would have told Samuel Colt.
Я ведь нажал, ёб мать!
Of course, the rest were veterans of the Civil War. Stone-cold killers trained on the bloody fields of Shiloh and Antietam. Plummer had a lot of men on his payroll. A hell of a lot. That son of a bitch pretended to protect the public with one hand, while stealing them blind with the other. He set up a defensive perimeter, which I had no idea how to breach.
Рейнджеры, они лучше, чем шестизарядники. Что ты сказал?
Put that moron out of his misery.
Dangerous, desperate individual. I was outnumbered and in way over my head, but I was too damn stubborn and stupid to realize it. They must have thought I was touched, or had some kind of death wish. I thought I was some kind of hero.
Time to blow your
I finally made it past and headed on to meet my destiny. But first, I had something I needed to figure out. I had a few ideas on how to get into that mine, but once I made my decision, I knew there was no turning back. So my first thought was to enter the nearest mine portal. I saw an entrance. Made sense. It was the quickest way in, but that also made it more dangerous, as there would undoubtedly be enemy pickets posted along the way.
You can run, but you can't hide. Down a mine shaft.
Besides, once you enter a mine like that, it's easy to get all turned around. And that confusing maze of corridors wouldn't even be the worst of it.
Plumber wants that asshole dead.
Some of those shafts could be as deep as hell. A single stumble or misstep can easily end in a deadly plunge to oblivion.
Time to blow your shit.
Так, вот мы перебежали. Так, проявление. Что такое травля? Шестизарядник. Не, рейнджер это лучше. Так.
Quick reflexes often make up for a lack of common sense. Luckily, I was never one to be easily bushwhacked. I would just need to be careful not to blow myself to kingdom come. With all that gunpowder and dynamite everywhere, a body has to know what he's shooting at. One wrong bullet could have turned that mine into a dad-blasted tube. I freely admit that my plan of attack is not just moronic, but clearly insane. It's a good thing that I abandoned that ridiculous plan before I even tried it. Instead, I spotted a ladder, way into the mine from the opposite side. It was a long way around, but that approach seemed more sensible at the time. Of course, being I had a problem with heights, that scaffolding scared the bejesus out of me.
Так, у нас тут шутач. Так, да. И теперь мы можем вот это прокачать. А что это у нас? Холодный повышает урон в концентрации. Ну это прикольно. А это что у нас? Большая концентрация в индикаторе будет еще больше смотреть.
Climbing down that ladder required some caution. Because even though I had a younger man's reflexes, no man can dodge a damn bullet while climbing down a rickety ladder. I needed to make a leap of faith. I was determined not to give up, As Sheriff Plummer seemed quite the despicable character. When the vigilantes discovered what the sheriff was up to, people were outraged. That 10,000 they put on his head would go a long way in helping me find old Bob. And I had made it my mission to settle that score come hell or high water. But first, I would have to make a choice. Take the elevator or climb the ladder.
Так, поднимаемся, комментарии. Так, тут была проблема, идем дальше. Так. В чем была проблема? У меня на диске закончилась память. Что это было, конечно, я не помню.
Plummer was a mad dog killer, and the people of Nevada City deserved better.
Nevada City? Well, I thought Plummer met his maker in Bannock, Montana.
Right, well, he was the sheriff of both places at one time or another, but that's neither here nor there. The point was, taking him down would save a lot of lives, including my own.
О! И что это? Что-то мне песенка не нравится. Джерелив. Законник. Бандит. Отступник Генри Палмер.
This is gonna hurt! This day is just getting worse and worse for you, ain't it?
Henry Plummer was clearly unhinged, and I could see right away that this was gonna take some doing.
You can shoot! But can you aim? Whoa. What do you think you're doing? God damn! I need some help here! Come on, boys! Take this cocksucker out!
Где его жизнь? Вот это пропало. Где ты, урод? Я тебя не вижу. Вот же сука.
blood money for you! Oh, boy! Just kill him! You ain't taking me! Gonna blow you into next week, boy! Run! You can shoot! Why can't you aim? And it's smart! I'm going all medieval on your ass!
So that's how Henry Plummer died. Him and his crew were worth their weight in gold.
Все, этого пидораса
And
мы
now, I was officially a bounty hunter.
Ох, вот с этих дней мы охотники сыграли. Что такое F2? Очков 0, 7 уровень. Так, ну на этом... Нет, не на этом.
So, did you finally go after that Bob feller?
Well, I heard word he was in Kansas with John Wesley Hardin. So that's where I went.
Where in Kansas?
Abilene. Why do you ask, Ben?
No reason.
Was Hardin as fast as Ringo?
Ringo was fast, but John Wesley was as fast as the devil himself. Hell, he killed his first man at 15. From that day forward, he had a price on his head and wouldn't back down for nobody, not even Wild Bill Hickok himself.
Так, а здесь мы закончим, потому что время. Время конец видео. Если вам понравилось видео, ставьте лайк, а я заканчиваю.